Good morning everyone, Happy New Year and welcome back to the channel. I haven't been away overnight in Dotty since I went to Ely, which I think was early December, nearly a month ago, and I'm getting itchy feet, so I've chosen today of all days to go and find a campsite and have an overnighter on my own in Dotty. Now the reason I'm smiling about the day is because storm, I can't remember what it's called, a French one, I can't remember. I've got it written down somewhere. I will remember it later, I'm sure, when it hits. Is meant to come in this evening. Now I have checked the weather forecast, and it's not meant to be particularly strong on the eastern side of the country. It's coming in, starting at St Ives, I think, in Cornwall, and swirling its way around the west of the country, southwest of the country, and into the Midlands, and a little bit into Lincolnshire. But I'm heading slightly further south. I have no doubt it will hit me. I'm just hoping, fingers crossed, it's not going to hit me as badly as it will potentially other parts of the country. And for those of you who do get hit by it, stay safe, won't you? So I'm heading off to, actually it's the very first campsite Mark and I ever stayed in when we got our camper van, and it's called Ferry Meadows in Peterborough, and it's a caravan and motorhome club site, a club site. It's a very nice one, and it's right on the edge of Ferry Meadows Country Park, which is beautiful. So I'm going to head to the shop first because I need to get something for my dinner tonight. I've also got a live stream planned for 6 o'clock this evening. Obviously by the time you're seeing this, the live stream will have happened, and I'm going to do that from Dotty at the campsite. I've got my Pathway 4G internet. It's an internet router with a data SIM in it, so fingers crossed I get a good enough signal to be able to live stream. That's always a bit of a challenge. I've only ever done one other live stream on this channel. I don't particularly, I wouldn't say, well, I do enjoy them. I was going to say I don't enjoy them. I do enjoy them. I always enjoy them when I'm going, but I'm always incredibly nervous before I get started. And I always worry, if I can't get the tech to work, what if the Wi-Fi isn't working, what if nobody shows up, what if I don't have anything to say, what if, I don't know, there's 1,000,001 different worries go through my head before I do a live stream. But it does push me a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I do want to try and get to know you better, and a live stream is a great way of getting some real-time conversation going with people in the chat. Now, obviously, sorry, there's a man just decided I don't exist, and he pulled out in front of me regardless. Where was I? Yeah, so it's a good chance for me to get to know you. So obviously it depends on whether anybody actually turns up and asks me any questions. Or I could end up just talking to myself, which has never happened. I have done, although I still get nervous, I have done quite a few live streams, not on this channel, but on my other channel, Being Bev, which I don't really use anymore. I did go live quite a few times. So I don't know why I still get nervous, and I've never not had anybody turn up. There's always a fear, isn't it? Although, to be honest, I'm talking to myself on a camera now, so I don't suppose it's any different, really. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. I am in the middle of a lot of traffic, so while I'm stopped, I'm going to turn the camera off, and I will catch you a little bit later when I get where I'm going. That's a little done, so I've got something to eat for tonight. And also picked up some lights. There are LED USB. I've got lots of lights in the van, but none of them are sort of rechargeable. They either need batteries or they need to be plugged in. So I'm going to give these ones a try. I'm just going to get stuff put into Dotty. Make my way to the campsite so I can get settled in, because the campsite's right next to the park. So I want to get the car, not sure what my lipstick's doing. I want to get the car sorted, set up, then I can have a walk in to the park. There's a cafe, I might grab a coffee, and then I'll be all settled in for the night. It is about 12:30 now, so time is cracking on. I can check in from 1 o'clock. It's going to take me about half an hour to get there, so... This campsite, I think it's probably one of my favourites. Fairly certain I don't need to do anything to get through, but I can't see. Oh, it is opening. That was going to be sat there forever. Right, so the toilet block's there. Where do I fancy being? In between the white posts, as you have to. Right, we're here. Let's get set up, I think. Yeah, so we're meant to have that storm tonight. I can't remember what it's called, some French name, beginning with a G. But I am on hookup, and I've got my little ceramic heater, but I've also just bought a little fan heater. It's a 1000 and a 2000 watt. I've got the Jackery, the 2000 watt Jackery with me, even though I'm on hookup. And the reason for that is, I think if I have a 2000 watt heater running, I might be wrong on this, so don't laugh at me if I've got this completely wrapped around my neck. If I've got the 2000 watt heater plugged in, and then I want to use something like the air fryer or something else that is going to draw power, I'm worried I might trip the electrics. So if I'm really cold and I don't want to turn the heating off when I'm cooking, hopefully having the Jackery will mean I won't trip anything out. I hope I'm right on that. I normally leave all this kind of stuff to Mark. Right, anyway, let me go and see what number I am. Right, so I'm on pitch number 62. Got my hook up there. Let's get everything sorted. She looks so tiny on this pitch. All right, that was my fault. So apparently I didn't realise, but there's another trip switch on the back of the post. So the one for my socket is around the back, the one for the other two sockets is around the front. Didn't see it. So she's just been to check and she said, oh, everything's working fine. Did you remember to push the switch up? I was like, yeah, I did. But I was pushing the wrong switch up and I didn't realise. Anyway, we're all sorted now. It's all working. I'm just transferring some stuff from my camera onto the laptop because my SD card is full, and then I think we're going to go for a walk into Ferry Meadows while we've still got some daylight, and then I'll head back and get myself ready for my live stream later today. So I thought what I would do in this video is just share with you how I plan on keeping warm. Now, I don't do a lot of wild parking, as you know, off-grid parking, so I am on grid, but I do have the means to be off-grid, and I've got lots of ways that I can potentially keep warm. I am absolutely one of those people that thinks don't put all your eggs in one basket, so I've got numerous ways to keep this vehicle warm, and I'm going to share them with you later on through the video. So if that's of interest, you know, it'll just be part of the vlog. Anyway, that is going to take another 5 minutes to swap over, and then, as I say, I will get myself going. I'm also going to set up the Wi-Fi, the Pathfinder, because at the minute I'm doing it on a hotspot, and I don't know how good that will be later. So I'm going to put the pathway together. Well, I say put it together. Basically, I'm going to put it on the dashboard and get myself settled. Okay, so this is my Pathway 4G router. Basically, we use it in Roxy and we use it in here. We had it. No, we didn't have it in Pete actually. We had a fixed router in Pete, but when sorry for anybody who's new around here, Pete was our first van, Roxy is our main van, and I'm in Dotty, which is my little camper van. What we like about the Pathway is I can bring it away with me, or we can take it away in Roxy, and it's not fixed to the vehicle. It's just got an SD card in it. Sorry, a SIM card, I beg your pardon, in it, and it's a data only SIM that we pay about £10 a month. It works out, I think we paid £170 prepaid for a 17-month unlimited data SIM, and it works off 12 volts. So I just need to plug it in. I'll plug it into the Jackery actually, because the fridge, as you can see, I've got the fridge plugged in to the Goretti, because it's easier than trying to plug it into the mains, and then I've got the 12 volt on the Jackery. That's also why I bring the power banks. It just gives me more options than just being plugged in on electric hookup. So I've got the cable over there, which is great, but it doesn't have any sort of 12 volt cigarette style plug sockets. And the fridge and the Pathway have 12 volt plugs. The fridge actually does have a 13 amp plug, you know, a 3-pin plug, AC plug. I get my words right, but it's easier just to plug it into the Goretti. It uses so little power. Right, let me get this Pathway 4G rigged up. There we go. So I can, if I don't get a very good signal, put it up against the window or in the dash, but we'll see how we get on with that. Just up against the seat there, I will log in to my Wi-Fi and see if I've got Wi-Fi. So I'm all rigged up with the Wi-Fi. I've got a really strong signal, so that's looking good for the live stream tonight. I haven't done a speed test, but I've got full bars and it looks pretty strong. My camera has transferred all of the footage that was on there, so now I can reformat that and we can go for a walk. As you would expect, the toilet facilities, because it's a club site, are absolutely lovely. They're huge as well, so you've got all this wash area, nice full length mirror, got showers back here. Loads of space to put your stuff, nice big space, lots of hooks, place to put your shampoo and things. I hate it when you have to put them on the floor. They're not push button, they're just really lovely. Lots of showers, loads of toilets, and then if you want, if you don't want to shower and you just want a scrub wash and privacy, you've got that as well. Another couple of hair dryers around here. Sorry, another hair dryer around here. So yeah, exactly as you'd expect from a club site. Great facilities. These are actually on a code, so you feel very secure as well. Yeah, just on a code. Here you got good, oh it's lovely and warm in here, good dishwashing area. There we go, lights are on a sensor and I hadn't come in. Oh, they're a bit flashy actually. But yeah, lots of space for washing and drying. Food waste bin there. I'm actually looking for some bins to put some rubbish in. I've got a couple of boxes I want to get rid of. So obviously these are the ladies disabled there. It's a lovely, really lovely site. Let's see if I can find where the bins are. I can't remember. I'm sure we'll be able to find them somewhere. So obviously there's gents around the corner. There's also a baby and toddler separate one. You've got drinking water here, wastewater, as you would expect really. Not seeing any bins. Wash your dogs and bikes here. That's the gents. There's a unisex toilet that you can use. That's a chemical waste point there. Hiya. So yeah, just your normal Elson point. Still haven't found the bins yet though. I will keep looking. I think on club sites these days they have the bins all in one central place rather than having them dotted around everywhere, but I haven't found them yet. Let me see if I can keep looking. Okay, probably closer to the exit I would think. Right, so I'm just going to go for a walk into Neen Park. You can see it's a big site. Last time I was here I brought my granddaughter Connie and she loved it. We were in our big van, our old big van, and normally there are loads of rabbits around the place. I haven't seen any rabbits. There's your motorhome service point there. Not seen any rabbits so far today. Right. I knew they'd have it somewhere, just forgot they were all in one place. So, general waste. Right, let's go and have a little look at Ferry Meadows. It's not a very long walk from the campsite to where everything's going on. It is getting dark though, it's about 2:30 now. And it's quite still, it is chilly, but there's no real wind, so... Oh, there's a squirrel just gone by. Did you see him? Did I catch him? But whether or not it stays this calm, a storm, whatever it's called, comes in. Now, can I get this squirrel as it goes? Don't think my camera's going to pick it up. No. I don't think my camera is going to pick it up. Never mind. I'm sure we'll see some more. It's quite a nice place. Even if you haven't got a camper, just to come and have a day out. Possibly more so in the summer, although it does get very busy. Visitor centre here. Some crafts. It's like a farm shop by the looks of it. And then there's a cafe here. There's also a cafe at one of the other lakes. So I might come back and grab something from the cafe there. Definitely looks prettier on a nice sunny day. It is a nice place to come. If you want to have a look at some of the videos I've done when I've been here, I'll link them below. They're not on this channel. They're on my other channels. Hello. Can't imagine there's boat trips on today. I think it's a bit cold for the old boat trips. It's frozen. He just crash landed into the into the tyres. I think it was a bit slipperier than he expected. Yeah, it's just very muddy. At least it was a soft landing though.
You're all right though, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
Just my pride. Oh dear. Well, that wasn't very dignified. Oops. All right, so I've treated myself to a cup of tea and a cheese scone. Look at the state of these. Look at that. And that one. Mud all at my back. I did manage to get into the loo and get some tissue, and I've cleaned my jacket up. I'll have to go straight in the wash when I get home. But there you go. Anyway, treat myself to a cheese scone. Look at the size of that. It's massive. And a pot of tea. Oh, I'm ready for this. It's so lovely actually when you sit here on a nice day and they've got a sort of conservatory area, you can look out over the lake. It's not so nice on a bleak day like today though, unfortunately. Oh, my bum's all wet. When I came in, I said to the girl behind the counter I'd taken a bit of a tumble. You know, you feel like you have to explain yourself when you're covered in mud, don't you? And she asked if it was icy. I was like, it's not icy. I mean, the lake is frozen, but it's not really icy. It was just very slippery mud. And I'd gone up a bank to put the camera on so I could take a bit of footage of the lake. And I came down a bit quicker than I went up, that's for sure. A very nice man stopped to ask me if I was okay. Oh dear. I had a soft landing. Gosh, this scone is huge. I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat it all. Do you know, there was a time when I was younger, I'd have been mortified if I'd fallen down like that. And I definitely wouldn't have gone and sat in a cafe. But do you know what? I think as you get older, you care less, don't you? Right, let me show you where I am. It's very dull, I have to say. It's not very bright, and this camera's not great in low light. But this is one of the big lakes here at Ferry Meadows. See the swans. I mean, in the summer, this is full of paddleboarders and windsurfers and kayaks and all sorts of things. We've got the little pedalos over there. And then that's the lakeside cafe, and you can come and sit out here on a sunny day, and it is beautiful. Right, having said that, we are running out of light. So I'm going to take myself back to Dotty, get myself cleaned up, I think, change out of these wet, muddy clothes and put something warm and comfortable on, and get ready to chat to you lovely lot live in a couple of hours' time. This time now my gloves are waterproof because my hands are still lovely and dry, even though they're absolutely muddy as anything on the outside. These are the ones I picked up when I was in Hexham. There's so much bird noise around here, bird song. It's absolutely lovely. So quiet though. I mean, of people, you know. Right, so I am, oh, let me take these out. I'm all snuggled up in Dotty, and I thought I will just spend a few minutes now that I've got changed and dried off. I did manage to clean my jacket a bit in the shower block here. It'll need to go in the wash when I get home, but I don't want to wash it because it's my only coat that I've got. I might have a waterproof one, but if it's going to be cold tomorrow, I want my rab jacket. Anyway, it is a bit chilly in here, so let me show you what I've got to keep me warm while I'm in Dotty, and it is a multitude of different options. So I am on my phone really because the Osmo Action 4 isn't great in bad light, and it is quite dark in here. So I'm just going to turn you around. So the main thing I've got to keep me warm is this. It is I just got it from Lidl recently. I normally have a small 600 watt ceramic electric heater, which has done me fine in the past, but we went up to a campsite recently and my daughter Amy stayed in Dotty overnight. Mark and I stayed in Roxy, and she had the little ceramic heater going. It was very cold, and it wasn't enough, quite honestly. So this is a 2000 watt fan heater, but it's got a 1000 or a 2000 watt option. So I've got it on 1000 at the moment, and it is more than warm enough in here. It is a little bit noisy, so my apologies if it's hard to hear. The other kind of work, I'm not doing these in any order other than the way they kind of come out. I haven't got any socks on because I've just been and got changed and washed my jacket, but I do have some fluffy sort of Sherpa socks with the sticky bits on the bottom. Mark did buy me some. If you saw my last video, you'll see he bought me some beautiful cat ones, but I'm going to keep those for when I'm in Roxy. So I've got a pair of those, and they keep my feet lovely and toasty. So I'm going to put those on. I'm going to try and put you down. Actually, I don't know if I've got a tripod to put my phone on in here. So, right, let me put you down here, and hopefully you can still see me. That's all right, that's not too bad. So yes, I've got my fluffy socks. I've also got blankets. I've got at least 3 blankets in the car. So this one, I keep on this bed all of the time. I've got my 15 tog quilt, which usually is more than warm enough, to be honest. I've also got another sort of wool blanket that I keep underneath the bed, so if I want it, I would have to get out and get it. I'm hoping I won't need it. And then I've also got my, let me just see if I can reach under here and find it. I've got my electric throw, and this, I've shown you on videos before, is lovely. I don't have it on all night when I'm asleep. In fact, I never put it on really when I'm sleeping, but I think you can. It's got a timer, so you can get it to turn off, but I just love it when I'm just sitting. Put it over my knees. It's not like hot, but it keeps you really nicely snug and warm. So that is my other sort of warming option, my other blanket option. Let me put that one out of the way there. As I've already mentioned, I have a little 600 watt ceramic heater. This just came from Lidl. I've shown you this loads and loads of times. It does a really good job. It just plugs straight into the jackery or plugs straight into the electric hookup cable, and it does a good job actually of heating the van. It does work all right, but when it is very cold as it is at the minute, or as it's likely to get tonight, I think the bigger one will do a better job. I also have 2 hot water bottles. This is just your standard shaped hot water bottle. This one I picked up a couple of weeks ago from Cancer Research, and it's like a hand muff. So you can put your hot water into this bottle, and then if you're really cold, you can just sit with your hands in it like this, and it's lovely and warm. So yeah, 2 hot water bottles. I've also got, as you can see here, thermal blinds on all of the windows. So I've got one on the windscreen, on both side windows, well, you know, passenger and driver door. They're really thick ones. And then I've got the thinner ones on all of the windows at the back. I made most of them myself. The ones on the front passenger and driver side door I didn't make. They came with our old van Pete, which was a Peugeot Boxer, so they do not fit, but they fit well enough, and they're very, very warm and insulated. I also have a shower curtain, and I found this just recently. Let me see if I can find it at home. Didn't even know we had it. And this is a bit thicker. It's just a black sort of, I don't know what it is, like nylon, but it's got sort of a lining in it. And it's blackout, so you can't see through it. And I haven't used this yet, but this is going to be my alternative to the shower curtain because it's a bit thicker. And I literally just peg it up along the shelf at the front there, just with normal pegs. That creates another barrier. Oh, there we go. Put you back down, just to keep the place insulated. But to be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to bother tonight. One of the downsides of having this up is it's a very small space, and with any kind of curtain up there, it does make the space feel a little bit enclosed, just a little bit sort of, I don't know, I mean, it's a small space anyway, but it does feel a little bit claustrophobic when you've got this on. Now, I am aware that I haven't got a microphone on, and I'm just recording on my phone, and you can probably hear the heater. My apologies. I'll do my best in the edit to try and make that quieter. The other thing I make sure I do is wear layers. So I'm in the nicer weather. When I started using Dotty, it was September, and we had some nice nights, and I would get changed into my pajamas and, you know, do things the way you would normally do them. When it's cold like this, I probably won't get changed tonight. It's not a massive space to get changed in anyway, but I wear layers. So I've got a thermal base layer on. I've got this fairly thin but warm sweatshirt top with a hood. And I've now changed into some yoga pants, and I will probably just sleep in these, and then I'll go and have a shower and get ready in the morning and get changed. I don't particularly find it easy to get dressed in Dotty because I can't stand up, so it is quite tight. And when it's cold like it is today, I don't really want to be going out in the evening just to go and get into my pajamas to come back in the cold. So what else do I do to keep warm? I mean, obviously, if everything failed and I had no power at all, I do have my rab jacket, which is very, very warm. I have gloves, I've got woolly hats. So if all else failed, I would still stay warm. Let me turn that off now because it's getting quite warm in here. That is the beauty of a small microcamper. It doesn't take very long for it to heat up. That said, it really doesn't take very long for it to go cold either. Now, when I built out Dottie, I didn't strip the headliner down and insulate underneath it. Perhaps I should have done. Because it's a car and not a van, it's got a little bit more insulation anyway. Obviously, with a car, it's all sort of this sort of padded lining, so it's not bare metal. When we pulled off the panels during the build, before we put the bed and the kitchen in, we did put some insulation in the wheel arches and around there, so there is a little bit of insulation, but ultimately it's not an insulated vehicle, and because it's got a lot of windows, that probably doesn't help either. But all in all, it's not been a cold car. It's not, you know, so far it's not really been that cold in here. With the storm coming tonight, and we're expected to have snow in the morning, it may do tonight. The other thing, of course, is to have hot drinks. So I have hot chocolate, I have tea, I've got my gas burner, single gas burner, my OEX solo stove. So even if I don't have power, I can still make a hot drink, and it's amazing how much difference just having a hot drink makes. And for some reason, do not ask me why, a cup of hot chocolate is more warming than a cup of hot tea. Don't know why. It must be psychological. So yeah, what else could I do, or do I do, to keep warm? Oddly enough, my fridge, my little 12-volt fridge, when that's on, seems to generate a little bit of heat in here. I have noticed that when I had the fridge on, or when I have the fridge on, it is a little bit warmer. Yet there is something else, of course. If all else failed, I can always turn the car engine on and use the engine heat to warm me up if I was absolutely freezing. That would be a very, very much last resort, though. I don't see that as being a viable option for heating the van, but it could be a last resort option. And candles, you know, I've got a couple of candles, as long as you're obviously careful with them. Candles give off just a little bit of heat, so there is that option as well. Anyway, I need to go and start getting myself prepared to do my live stream, and it'll be weird if you're joining me on the live stream. I won't know yet, and you won't have seen this yet, because the live stream's yet to come, but by the time you see this, it'll have been, and you'll know if you were there or not. Is it messing with your head as much as that's messing with mine? Right. I'm going to stick the kettle on, and I'm going to get myself ready for the live stream. This is the lighting in here. I hope it's going to be all right, because it's not going to get any better for the live stream. I do think, though, I'm going to wrap my thermal heated throw over me, so I don't have to have the fan going while I'm talking. Right, let's go on and do this. I love that noise. Love it. I find it so soothing. Rain on the roof. So I've just done my live stream. There was definitely some technical hitches. I had a funny buzz because I had the microphone was headphones plugged into the laptop, and then I took my brother's advice to turn off the jackery because I thought that was what was making the buzz. Turned out that was not the best suggestion, because I then turned off my Wi-Fi router, so I lost connection. And then I had to start again, and then they couldn't hear me. Oh, it was fun. But thank you to everybody who joined me on the live stream. I really enjoyed it, despite the technical hiccups. I really enjoyed chatting to everybody. I need to get better at figuring the chat out because that was going by a bit quick. But I've got my new Dotty mug, got a nice cup of tea. We're very chilled. It's nice and warm. Actually, I've got my heated blanket. I've got 2 water bottles. I've not got the heater on. I don't need it. It's there in case I do. But at the minute, I'm very, very comfortable. I'm just going to sit and watch a few YouTube videos, listen to my audiobook, and then I'm going to get myself off to sleep. I don't think I'm going to need my sleep sounds machine today. I think the rain on top of the car is going to be... It's going to do the job just right. So anyway, I will catch you all in the morning. Good night. Good morning, everyone. Oh, right, no snow for me in the storm last night, just an awful lot of rain. I'm so uncomfortable. It's the first time I've been really uncomfortable in this bed and I couldn't figure it out. And then I remembered I slipped down the flipping mud bank, didn't I? And I landed on my backside and I've hurt like the top of my hips on both sides. So lying down last night was pretty uncomfortable. But it's now 8 o'clock and I need to get up. I'm meeting a friend at 10 o'clock. And I need to get out of this place, so I need to get a cup of tea as well, so I'll catch you in a bit. Right, that's me all packed up from the campsite and on my way. It is a lovely campsite. I just always enjoy staying there, and the staff are so good and so friendly, which always makes a difference, doesn't it? Sorry, that's my pom-pom. You can see my granddaughter made me a pom-pom for the car that you can see. So I'm off now to see a friend for breakfast. I've got about an hour and then I've got to go and collect my granddaughter from my daughter because my daughter's at work and my granddaughter unfortunately has got shingles, so she's off school. So it's a little bit of toing and froing this morning, but I'm in a little bit of discomfort actually where I fell yesterday. I wasn't expecting to be because I didn't think I'd fallen that hard, although it looked it looked good. I fell on mud, really, but I think perhaps my bum and my hips hit the tarmac when I slipped on the mud. So I didn't feel it at all yesterday, but today is just a little bit sore. And quite honestly, us that are nearly 60, we don't bounce the way we used to. So my back is a little bit sore. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave this vlog here. Thanks ever so much for joining me once again. I had an absolute blast on my live stream last night, despite all the tech hitches. It was so lovely to get to chat to everybody. I'm having a ball doing this YouTube channel, and one of the big discussion points last night was, when are we going to have a Dotty's Adventures meetup? I'm thinking possibly late spring, and yeah, let me know in the comments if you would be up for a meetup. Obviously, if you're in the UK, might be a bit difficult if you're in South Africa or Australia, although we'd love you to come. But yeah, let me know in the comments if that's something that you would be interested in. And I think probably what I'll do is just ask people to email me when I actually get things sorted, and I can assess interest, and that will dictate where we go. I would really love to use my friend Tony's field that I stayed in a couple of months ago, because I think it would be absolutely brilliant. It's in Lincolnshire, and in the Lincolnshire Wold. It's really lovely. Anyway, on that note, no more waffling. Thankfully, I am going to waffle a wee bit more. Thankfully, the storm didn't really affect me last night at all. We haven't had any snow, sadly, because I don't like driving in it, but I do love the look of it. Lots of rain. You'll hear from some of the footage how rainy it was overnight. But I avoided most of the storm. I seem to do quite well whenever there's a storm. The time I stayed at Tony's Field was meant to be Storm Benjamin, and I didn't really get affected by that either. So I must have the luck of the Irish. Anyway, on that note, I am going. I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.